Good evening, everyone, and welcome to SRW TV once again for some more awesome sim racing action. Tonight, we have got round number 3 of the SRW Porsche Cup GT Series, brought to you by DSL Welding at Circuit de Spa-Franchochamps, a just under 7 kilometer track, a historic track. Tonight, I am with Daniel Harris, here with Cowie, your average sim racer, on the comms tonight, and we've got Brett Wheelman Wheeler behind the scenes looking after the tech side of thing, getting these amazing camera angles to you tonight. Cowie is just currently fixing his internet issues. We're having some
I'm here.
technical issues. Sorry, he is here. Sorry, my apologies, Cowie.
I'm having issues getting into iRacing at the moment. So Brett's provided me a wonderful stream so I can see what's going on, which is great. So we're on board. Well, looking at Tyson McAvoy here doing some laps in the Porsche. That's looking a bit flash. That Porsche, obviously, he's done the paint job up from last week. Looks good. But yeah, so I'm just trying to load into iRacing and she doesn't want to load in at the moment, so I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, iRacing is a bit finicky sometimes. I think a couple of these boys, I've had a look around. Like a couple of them look to be running a different livery, so mixing it up. We don't scoff at that. We do enjoy a bit of mix up with the liveries. Like to see them change around a little bit. Always good to see. This Spa track is a very, very historic track. Absolutely, just gone through several changes over the years. Currently, this is the what's the word? The layout, that's the word, that we're currently on at the moment, I believe, is the classic pits layout. So they'll be starting on the, just after La Source, which is usually turn 1 for the Formula 1. And turn 1 and 2, I suppose, will be Eau Rouge and Radion up the hill, the iconic corners where Lando Norris unfortunately crashed out of qualifying and caused a red flag last year at the Formula 1, where it was raining like crazy.
They're currently working on changing that whole section, I think, at the moment, or I think they're mostly looking to do the runoff on the left, so so there's you don't have a sharp wall there. There's actually a bit of space. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go. I mean, the other big problem that they had at the Grand Prix last year was the water just run off and puddled down the bottom of Eau Rouge, but I'm not thinking too much about that.
The standing water was absolutely ridiculous. So just currently, we're just 5 minutes into qualifying now. We've caught them just after the qualifying started. Just let Cowie try and fix some of these issues. They don't seem to be working, but we're in now. We're good. Adam Hughes has set the fastest time of a 2-minute 20.134, followed by Matthew Doust, a second, just over a second behind. So these guys have got some laps to put in to catch up to Adam Hughes, our championship leader.
Oh, he told me last week that he's been focusing on these cars, so it's definitely showing that, because he's well up the top of the grid and has been in all the rounds so far. So we keep trying to get him into the V8s as well, but he reckons they're at polar opposites to drive these cars, and if he tries to drive the V8s, he's going to be shit in one of them. So,
yeah. I think you stick to one car, I reckon, is usually the way it goes if you want to get better. And if he enjoys this car, I say don't change it.
Having a look at John Mchenry here, one of our SRW producers. He was behind the scenes for us on Sunday night for the V8s. That's a pretty cool livery, the Locked On Racing livery there. And we'll see if John can get himself up the grid.
I reckon he can. John's got a bit of pace on these cars, usually sitting around the middle of the pack, and that middle of the pack usually can transform into some longer races. Tonight, actually, though, usually we do have that, of course, inverted grid, but tonight we've actually got an endurance race. So this endurance race is a 70-minute race, so just over an hour, and we've got a manual safety car, Promo Department, of course, sponsoring that safety car, thanks to Race Control 247, I'm going to say, Cowie. Am I right in saying that?
You got it.
I am right. Okay, yeah, and they've got a 70% fuel cap, so we do have of course, one compulsory pit stop with the tyre change. So it's going to be pretty good to watch tonight. It's going to be some hard out action. It's going to be a lot of tyre saving, some fuel saving maybe.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the boys handle it. I mean, we've come off the, sprint rounds for the first 2 weeks, or sprint and then a super sprint, where everyone was sending it. So, they've got to think about the long game this time. So maybe we'll see some change of tactics. I think you might see a few teams working together maybe as well.
Yeah, I think definitely there's going to be some maybe team order, not necessarily team orders, but some working together to get away. Alex Court has set the fastest lap of a 2:20.064. It's a very, very fast lap, 0.069 in front of Adam Hughes. These two have been battling out currently for the whole season. It's been really.
Stephen McCartan's up there as well, so he's been near the pointy end of this grid as well. So we've got the same figures at the front there. But again, we're fairly early into qualifying. I still think the boys have got plenty of time to go out there and get a nice hot lap in.
Yeah. Yeah, so about 11 minutes-ish left, just over 11 minutes. So these boys, it does take about 2.5 to 3 minutes to do an out lap, depending on where you get caught, I suppose. So these guys are probably wanting to go out at around probably 15 minutes and get that lap in, I reckon. Maybe a bit earlier, possibly, because those laps,
time to go out there and get a nice...
actually take it out of you.
Well, they had a 30-minute practice before this, so, I mean, I don't know if the guys jump on and fully, use all of that practice time, but the track should have a decent amount of rubber on it to enable these guys to put in, their hot laps. So I wouldn't think it was too greasy out there. I don't know if you guys can see the the track temperature. I can't see that. We'll see if Brett Wheelman can get that up for us. And there we go. What are we looking at? 19 degrees. Is that the
air
track
temperature? That's the air temperature. On the bottom there's 37 degrees Celsius for the track temp. So it is a nice and toasty track. 83% humidity though, so it will be a little bit sticky. But that is not the humidity that I enjoy personally. It's been so humid over here in New Zealand, and I just want to shoot someone sometimes because it's so hot. I just want to crawl up onto the floor and pass out. It's so hot.
Oh, I've been playing around with monitor mounts and rigs and monitors, computers all day, so I've been sweaty all day, bloody doing this stuff. But anyway.
Oh, Dean getting very close to that wall. One of our SRW owners getting very close to that wall at the source on the inside there.
Perhaps
I wonder if we can get on board. Yeah. Great minds think alike, Kelly.
We still must do the same thing as well. There you go. Though I thought Dean was going to get rid of that white around his name. So yeah, I did mention that to him last time and told him.
I think we have mentioned it. Yes. Unfortunately, it still is in the way slightly. I think we've got Brett currently changing it for us. Oh, beautiful!
Right, let's just flick the camera up a little bit. Nice.
Yeah.
Brett's looking after us here, making sure that we can actually see the track.
Yeah, Brett, you're legend.
Section of the track is this. This is
just coming down into Puon now.
Yeah.
Dean's on for a pretty good lap. I'm just gonna ask Brett, shut the hell up. He's talking to us in our ears, talking absolute shit.
That's what we want to hear.
Everything you do, Brett. Appreciate everything you do, mate.
So it's
going down into third gear. Third gear through this little section of campus, I believe it's called. And then into Stavlo on the right-hand corner. Second gear. Probably didn't need to go to second because get a bit of wheel spin. Probably could have kept it in third.
So again, remember how hard these cars are to turn in sometimes, buddy. So
yeah.
They just, I know they take a bit longer to slow down, and unless you really get the car slowed down, they don't want to turn in.
I think you could probably keep it in third though. Oh, he gets on the curb, and you can see him wrestling that car to get it through Blanchimont. Very, very cautious as he comes now into the bus stop, braking very early, getting it into third gear, dropping it down to second, and he'll lock that steering. And as he has a nice run to the line, we will watch Dean Sinkovich put in a lap and it is a lap of... So we wait for our standings to update.
I think he's had an off-track in there, so that lap hasn't counted, so he's going to have to get back on it.
I believe it might actually end at this part of the track, because that was where it did update the other day.
Okay.
There it is.
It's done
just a bit slower. Yeah, he's just done a little bit slower.
But again, still trying to get, trying to wrestle this car around here, and it definitely is a wrestle.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Hughes, sorry, just to take away from that, is Adam Hughes is now into the 219s. That is some absolutely flying pace from him. Alex Court not too far behind, still at 220s, but that is some incredible pace from Adam Hughes, our championship leader, and reigning champion, I should say, as well.
Oh, definitely showing his class. There's been a few interesting things happen through the week as a result of last week's race. We've had I think there was a post-race penalty to Carter Dines for failing to hold the brakes. It's something that race control has been looking at quite a bit and sort of hampering on the boys that if something does happen, we just want you to stay still, let the other cars get around you, and then you can get back on your way. So there was a 30-second post-race penalty for Carter there with Crisscross Racing. We've also had Greg Leake from Team Greg got a 30-second penalty for an unsafe rejoin as well. So, and race control, as mentioned, there were several other incidents that they cast them as no further action racing results, and they wanted to keep their consistency across all the categories. So, hopefully, our drivers can understand that. We're not out there to penalise them and be the, what would you call it, the fun Nazis, I suppose. But
fun police is the one, I think.
There you go, fun police. So
if we want to stray away from that word there.
So again, we just want to, have the race clean, and if race control can find some consistency, then I'm sure these boys will be happy with it too. Now they've actually said, race control, that it generally takes about 2 laps to fully review an incident. So when they do, they're looking at the lines, control of the car, the context of where the incidents happened, the impact, and also if the driver's been able to redress. So they'll generally look at the angles from sort of both drivers, multiple angles, then they make a decision. Obviously, generally when there's at least 2 parties involved, one party's not going to be happy, but so we don't always get agreements with race control's decision, but so be it. They've got to make the call on the fly.
Good results are final, as they always say, so you can appeal it, but don't expect it to be overturned. As we're on board with Ash Davis. Ash Davis is sort of one of the quicker boys. He goes under the radar, I think, a little bit, sitting down in sort of the middle of the pack, and Benjamin Siren probably wanting to get a bit of a quicker lap. He's on an outlap right now, and him and Carter Dines were having a nice little battle in the first round. I think it was P2 and 3 they were going for, or 3 and 4. Those two having those boys
were racing hard. Yeah, they were racing hard together there for a while, weren't they, buddy?
Yeah, those two do quite well together.
And yeah, I know we were looking at Tyson McAvoy a bit earlier there. He's probably a bit unlucky in the last round. He got involved in 2 incidents that pretty much had nothing to do with him, and race control issued those penalties as a result. And but it doesn't really help Tyson. He's had a bit of a hard start to the season in the Porsches.
Yeah, he's got some pace. He really did show that he's got some pace. I think it was in the last race they finished off, I think, P2 or P3, and he really showed that he's got the pace to jump up into the field, and he's got the pace to be fighting up the front with those boys, and I think he want to show that in this endurance race.
Oh, well, look, like anything, in this game, you need a bit of luck, I think, as well, So it's easy sometimes to get caught up with something that has absolutely nothing to do with you, and you end up on the raw end of the stick, but it happens.
I have to correct Shikawi, as everyone always does. It's not a game, it's a simulation.
Oh, there we go, true. You got me last week for that too, so it's all right.
This is an awesome simulator and an awesome game. It is a game, after all. These boys are just out there for fun, and we love watching these boys.
No,
the show every week.
There's a sheep station on every race, buddy. We know that. Come on. At least in some of the officials, when you get the guys that decide to send it on lap 1, turn 1, obviously they think there's a sheep station. But hopefully, look, everyone here is getting to know each other. I think some of these boys are raced together. I think the new guys that have come into the series, across all the series, have been well embraced by the other drivers. And, yeah, I think everyone just wants some good, clean, hard racing.
Yeah, I think that's as well what it comes down to is just these boys wanting to go out, have some fun, have some clean, hard racing, and race with guys who are like-minded and want to have those clean battles and not have anyone in the officials ruin it for them. But unfortunately, sometimes that does happen, as we did see with Tyson McAvoy, who we're watching now, coming through the bus stop chicane. He's going to want to get this lap absolutely right, probably wanting to improve on that P8 time and get up into the top 5 maybe. He's got 4/10. Can he do it?
Keep thinking that's the finish line, but he's got to go around the next corner, don't
Yeah, I
he?
think it is the next quarter, isn't it? So he's done a 21.8 is his last time. And he's just blinked out there for a second, unless that's me. Nope, he's definitely blinked out.
Yeah, we've got about a minute of qualifying left here. Adam Hughes, he's just, showing his class here. Look, after last week's round, he's the current series leader, 66 points ahead of his nearest rival, Robert Griffiths with Fishy Motorsports. So
Well, Robbie's
I'm sure,
doing bloody awesome then.
oh, he's doing great, but I'm sure the Chris Cross boys are really happy with Adam's pace at the moment and his racecraft. But I think so far he's been able to just get clear of everyone and drive his own race.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time it ends up with people battling for P2, P3, and that's usually Alex Court and Stefan McCartane. Those two have some awesome battles together, and I think that Adam's been a bit lucky as well, having driven away, but to be able to drive away, you obviously need the skill and consistency that he does obviously have, and he's shown that consistency week in, week out.
He certainly has. I mean, look, like the super sprint last week, the reverse grid, he had to fight his way through the field and he still made it on the podium. So, he's shown that he's not only just got pace, but he's got racecraft as well. Knows how to set up a pass. And we all know, I mean, you have to be miles faster. Oh, well, look, you normally need to be miles faster than the current front to pass, Otherwise, you've got to set it up and, make your moment, force your opponent into an error maybe. But so far, Adam has been error-free. All right, so we've got any of the boys still out there doing laps. We're looking at Adam at the moment. It looks like he's got pole position wrapped up at the moment. So it'll be if Dave Coleman or one of the other boys here, one of the fishy boys,
big lock-up in front of David Coleman. Big lock-up. I believe that's one of the... Oh, it's a Red Bull car. I'm not sure who that is. The 27... Oh, sorry, Luke Cornwell, just in front of him. He'll be getting out the way there, probably sitting on the racing line there. Just a bit unfortunate for David Coleman, because he probably wanted a better entry through there. That can really make or break a lap through that little section there of campus, coming into Stavlo and down the run. You really need to nail that run through the corner, and this run here is really what makes or breaks a lap. You get a good run through there, and it will absolutely take off so much time, and because you can hold so much speed.
That's
very, very important.
About, I think, Erosion, Radilon, and coming out of Savret, Radion, sorry, I should say. It's got an L in it, Marty. It's got an L in it.
It does have an L, but you got to Radion. You got to roll the R.
Yeah, of course you
have a bit of fun with it. Bit of a lock-up there from David Coleman into bus stop chicane. He's controlled it quite nicely, sorry. A little bit of a lock-up, and he's controlled it nicely. Repeating myself again. Coming across the line now, as he's not a prankster, he's going to come around La Source and then come across the line. Unless he's going to pull away into the pits. Bit of a wheel spin there. The car got a little bit sideways, and he is going to pull into the pits, unfortunately. So he maybe screwed up his lap. On board with Steven Sinkovich now, one of the owners. Dean's brother. These boys always having a bit of chaos at the back of the grid.
Also got to mention that Bradley Wall is also a part owner. We've missed Bradley the last few times. We keep calling out the Sinkovich brothers, and we've missed Brad as well. So
that's a fair point, exactly.
Got to look after the other boss man, or we'll get in trouble.
Yeah, that's a fair point, very much so. So, as the grid currently stands, I believe Steven is the last one on track as he comes across the line now. That lap time is a... no? No lap time? No time. So maybe an off-track in there that has hampered that lap. Off-tracks are quite common here at Spa, so that's going to be another thing that they need to watch out for over this endurance race, is those off-tracks. You've got to be very careful. Keep those tyres on the track.
We actually see what the limit is for their incident points tonight?
Say again, sorry?
What the limit is for the incident points before they would get a drive-through penalty? Or...
I'm not too sure. Let me actually ask. Where is race control? They're not in their little channel.
Well, you're going to have to call out the grid in a moment, buddy. So.
No, that's quite all right. The points, I believe, tonight are doubled for the endurance race. So I believe it's 150 points on offer for that first place. Maybe more. As we will go through the qualifying grids. The qualifying results are Adam Hughes taking out that pole position with a 928, even faster than he went previously, followed by Alex Court, as we've come to see on that second place on the grid, with a 1/10 behind. Stefan McCartane 7/10 behind those two, so I wonder what's maybe happened to his lap, or something's gone wrong, or maybe he just hasn't hooked it up, possibly, in P3. Matthew Doust and Robbie Griffiths and David Coleman, those three are going to be battling hard behind for that P4. I know those guys can battle well, and that'll be good to watch. The Fishy Motorsports 5 and 6, good racing boys. Carter Dines for Crisscross Esports instead of Crisscross Racing is in P7. He'll be looking out behind him for Tyson McAvoy and Benjamin Siren, I reckon, in P9 and P10. And Kyle Zink as well in P8. And that will round out the top 10 for you tonight.
It'll be a good race. We have been advised that we've actually got the couple of minutes. Generally, the last car in the grid is the race control in the safety car. So, because, I think in iRacing, if everyone grids up on the grid, it'll start within 10 seconds after that.
So yeah, we usually let it roll through as we get this nice little chopper view of Alex Court there, who has kindly asked us not to call him Sergio Perez. So we will, from henceforth, be referring to him as, I think we agreed on the wall, did we?
Yeah, we did, I think. But we missed the fact that he's got 44 in his car. So obviously, Alex is a diehard Hamilton fan. So
Exactly
maybe calling
right.
him Perez might have been a step too far.
Touch the nerve, possibly.
Well, look, Alex has told us he's been on iRacing about 3 or 4 years and has been one of those guys that does lots of official races. I think he said he's done over 1,238 official races and 20,000 laps, he reckons. So
We're away. We are away. As Alex Court gets a good jump off the line. Stefan didn't get as probably good as he wanted as they come into Eau Rouge. They're almost side by side. Adam Hughes got away very, very well. And those boys are looking maybe side by side behind. I don't know who that is. It looks possibly like Matthew Doust in the 37 car. They're side by side. Stefan McCartane, Alex Court, the number 32 of Matthew Doust, that is. Sorry, I've mislabeled a car. The number 2 of Matthew Doust probably wanted to make it 3 wide. Alex Court on the inside coming into Lake Coombe. Gets the move done. They're still side by side at the corner panel. Alex Court's around, and so is Stefan McCartane. Those two making contact once again. They made contact last week at Silverstone, and unfortunately they've made contact again. And Matthew Doust will run into P2, and Robbie Griffiths will go into P3 as we see these boys go side by side. And
just a little bit of door banging, and then Alex has got loose, and then as he's got loose, he's tapped Stefan in the wrong spot, which has got Stefan loose. So
yeah,
I don't think there's anything more in that than just the boys racing hard. It's just a bit unlucky, I think.
Yeah, I think if you just watch it slowly now, and you can see maybe Alex could have left a little bit more room, but at the same time, he could have maybe lost that position. And of course, when you're racing hard, you want to maintain the position that you're in and defend well. So just a bit unfortunate there. I reckon that'll probably be a racing incident, lap 1.
Oh, we've got 247 race control to decide on that. So, we can call our opinions, but who knows? We'll have to see what they've got to say about it.
I think you saved my ass with that line every time, Cowie.
It's all good, buddy. Look, we want to call it as we see it. We don't want to be biased. We love all of these guys racing. So if we ever call you out, guys, for something we see on track, it's nothing personal. We want to try and give each of you as much airtime as we can and talk about you. So, and inevitably, it's the incidents you keep talking about, isn't it? So,
John has actually just passed. That's one of the Sinkovich brothers, Dean. It looked like he possibly passed him off the track, so not sure. Maybe that might go to race control, maybe not, as Locked On Racing now locking a P10 and P11. As we're now one lap down in this lovely race that come through La Source, which is actually the final turn. So these boys coming down across the line onto lap 2. And Matthew Doust is still within 6/10 of Adam Hughes, so a second behind him to Robbie Griffiths. Robbie Griffiths going to be chasing hard as they've created a little bit of a gap to the boys behind.
Yeah, Stefan and Alex are back in 18th and 19th, so they've already made a couple of positions because they would have had to wait for the whole field to go through.
Yep, exactly right. As that is Tyson McAvoy, sorry, it was on lap 1, who was looking to make it almost 2 wide at the back, maybe 3 wide, and he's up into P6, got a good start. He's got Kyle Zink almost having a look up the inside in the 9.5 Sim Sport car.
Yeah, a little peekaboo there from Kyle.
Yeah, it's amazing what that little peekaboo can do to a driver's mental stability, I suppose, for the lack of a better word. Can really put you off.
5 times in a row. Save that 5 times in a row, buddy. Hey.
What am I saying?
No, it was a tongue twister.
Peekaboo doo doo boo.
Yeah, that's right.
They boys almost side by side through poo on. Carter Dines in front of Tyson McAvoy. Tyson's going to have to dive up the inside. Gets the move done, rolling the car through very nicely late on the brakes. And that's a good move to get him up into P5.
Driving well here. I don't think he's looking after the tyres this early into the race. Just trying to get good track position.
Yeah, I think Tyson's one of those boys that really does like to attack and get up as far as he can and maybe get it once he gets into a nice rhythm now. Only on lap 2, remember, we do have an hour and 5 minutes left of race. Sorry, an hour and...
6
yeah,
minutes.
about 5 minutes. No, yeah. Oh, yes. 5, 6... I don't know. Matthew Doust again staying with it. Carter Dines maybe going to have a look. The draft. Dyson McAvoy defending up the inside. You see on the outside Kyle Zink. And some good defending there. This is going to be a 5-way battle for P5. Tyson McAvoy going to be holding these boys off for almost probably, I reckon, half an hour. These boys will go before pit stop. So
it's exactly what we want to see. It's exactly what we want to see.
Right. Simply lovely, as Max Verstappen would say, these battles. And these boys put on a show.
Oh, it's a good little train they got going here. Again, we're probably, this is lap number 3, so now the tyres should be up to temp, so we'll see if these boys look to go flat out through Rallon and Eau Rouge, I should say. Radion? Eau Rouge.
That's Radion, actually.
I'll get, Is Eau Rouge is the bottom part, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. So Eau Rouge is the bottom, and then I believe Radion is the top of the hill, so...
Yeah.
There's a lot of that as they're almost side by side. Carter Dines really having a look at Tyson McAvoy. I reckon he'd probably be better just sitting behind and trailing him a little bit, but I suppose maybe going up the inside just in case he locks up. And these boys are going to be battling very hard, and those boys behind watching of Kyle Zink, Benjamin Siren, and Bradley Wall are all going to be lapping that up. The more these guys battle in front, the more they can stick together with the pack. So.
Well, that's right, and if you want to get on the stream, you've got to be in the mix battling. You know, we'll try and show your car if you run around by yourself, but you're going to get much more coverage if you're in a battle like this. So it's great for the boys here.
Yeah, it's exactly right. That's why Adam Hughes sort of goes a bit unnoticed up in the front because he just sort of pulls away, and you can see now he's pulled a bit of a gap. Now he's pulled 5/10 on Matthew Doust, so Matthew Doust probably going to want to get into a rhythm, maybe just sit behind, keep in a little bit of a gap, and drive it home from here.
That's right. I mean, I'm sure that's what Matthew's trying to do, but the problem is Adam's got so much pace in these cars, so you've almost got to, drive the skin off it.
Oh, there is a bit of an incident. Callum Hodgkinson's got a bit of front end damage. I wonder what's happened there, if we can get a replay. If that's possible. It's all right if we don't. He might go into the pits there. We've got a maybe from Brett as that car, yeah, looks already damaged. So maybe a bit of contact with the car behind. But it doesn't look like it'll be too bad, that damage. So
he'd be trying to get into the the pit window for sure before he does anything about that. I think we've got one fast repair tonight, is it? Okay, we're going to have a look a bit further in the replay and see if something happened to him a bit early. He's still got that damage there, buddy. So
yeah, I think that was the pictures that we
just
saw before, but that's all right. We might get a little bit of a word from him later on.
Oh no. Ash Davis has just been involved in an incident, so there's another DSL action replay here.
If we can.
He's showing him in the pits. Oh, there we go. Just a spin by the looks of it, is it? Yeah, so he's just run a little bit wide or gone in a bit hot. Again, one of the things about these cars is, we've said it before, they feel like they've got great grip until you find that limit and it's a cliff. So
yeah, it really is a cliff. That limit is a very, very fine line. And Alex Court now getting in front of Callum Hodgkinson. So he's up into P13. He's going to be on the charge. I reckon those boys behind Stefan McCartane and Alex Court are going to be going for those undercuts, those crucial undercuts. And actually, if you look at the rear wing of Stefan McCartane, is that a little bit of damage that I see on that right-hand side of the rear wing? A little bit of a bend there. Probably not causing him too much strife, but could affect him in the long run. Howie, are you there?
Yeah, I'm back, buddy. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah,
so we're thinking that.
So I have just, yeah, it probably was. You're probably right there, Brett. Sorry, talking in our ears, saying that's probably from the lap 1 incident. Doesn't look like that damage is too bad. It looks like that'll probably be able to maybe not get repaired, but it shouldn't affect him too much. And I'm just reading in the race chat, our race control 247 race control has deemed that lap 1 turn 6 racing incident, so no further action will be for that incident.
That's awesome.
Oh, how good is that?
It's awesome at 247 doing that for us too, because one of the things, when you're commentating this, it can be hard to pick up everything that's going on. So race control had a bit of a chat. Whoa, what happened there? He's gone deep, couldn't get it turned. Yeah,
a bit of contact, bit of door banging there, those boys. So looks like Carter Dines going to be able to get in front. Sorry, not Carter Dines. That's Tyson McAvoy. We're on board with Kyle Zink. And Carter Dines is just in front, maybe involved with a bit of door banging. That's Benjamin Siren on the inside of Kyle Zink. Those boys, two teammates there. And behind him, Bradley Wall in the 22 crisscross racing car.
To jump on board with Bradley Wall, one of the SRW joint owners. Oh, he's got a great run here through.
There you will. You can hear he was just off the throttle a little bit there. He's up 4 positions, so he's doing very, very well up into P9. And you can just see he's pulling away, I reckon, just to get a better view of the corner. These boys in front going side by side. The 958 with Kyle Zink just backing off a little bit to let Benjamin Siren some more room. And these boys really have to work together if they're going to catch back up to Carter Dines and Tyson McAvoy.
Well, last thing you want to do is take out your teammate, so those sort of things don't go really well in the race debrief at the end. So we all like to have a joke, right. And there's normally not a lot of joking when you take your teammate out. So, but yes, you're right. They've got to work together, the boys. I'm sure that we're going to see that. I mean, Adam and Matthew out in front are just running away with it. We've got a 3-second gap from 2-second gap back to Matthew from Adam, and then we've got a further 3 seconds back to Robbie Griffiths, and then it's 4 seconds back to David Coleman. So, and then 4 seconds back to Tyson after that. So
Alex Court is dropping back because he had an incident and he's dropping back quite quickly. I wonder if he's had a spin, if we can get a nice little replay there as Callum Hodgkinson passes him, and so does Stefan McCartane. I just saw Stefan pass him. He's maybe gone for a move around the outside here on Dean. Yeah, he's had a bit of an incident. I believe that was Dean Sinkovic, and just unfortunately, you got to think a bit, be more patient there, mate. Maybe P1's not the best place to pass.
Look, Alex had some great pace there, but I don't know if Dean couldn't get the car quite turned in as tight as Alex thought he could. So another one for race control to have a look at, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%. Again, we've talked about Alex Court and how good he is and how good he is at judging where to overtake and where to pass, and maybe he's just made a rare mistake there from him.
I think their boys are just running tight together. So, again, we saw a fair bit of door banging in the V8s last Sunday night, and we're seeing it again tonight, where the boys are hard. Ooh, so John getting on the gas a little bit heavy there, and the car stepped out, but he's recovered well. That's good. But yeah, so the boys are racing close together. I mean, this is exactly what we want to see. We want to see the boys trying to make passes and things like that, and there will be contact every now and again, but we know that there's nothing in it. Was that Kyle making?
Yeah, that is Kyle making a nice little move on Benjamin Siren. Those boys working together. They're now about a second away from Carter Dine, so those boys have been working together quite well to get back involved in that little battle for P5 as Tyson McAvoy is leading them away. 8/10 behind him is Carter Dine, so those boys working very well together.
I'd say Benjamin let Kyle through there. Kyle's probably got a little bit more pace, but you never know. I don't know if it's quite like the cycling where you have the guy out front do all the work and just sit in his toe. But
I think it's more that these boys are down the straights. The draft is so powerful that they just let each other go. And I think switching back and forth is probably better than sitting behind. Maybe they'll give a bump draft a go. This might see a bit of oval racing action.
Well, look, guys, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, put a comment up there. Let us know who's your favourite out there, who you're rooting for, and because again, we're here to watch this great action, and we know you guys are out there. If you want to tell us to focus on someone, we can have a look and try and personalise your experience while you're watching this great race.
That's exactly right. If you're on YouTube, make sure to hit that notification bell, not to miss when we go live. Live timing is usually on at the same time. We do actually have live timing available tonight, so I wonder if we can get some links there in the YouTube chat. I'm going to actually try and give that a go myself. We've got some live timing, so you guys can follow along at home and see how the live timings are going. See the position changes in real time. Nah, mate. Nah, I got him first.
That's actually probably going to help me, buddy, because I'm the one struggling with iRacing at the moment. So, thank you, Brad. So it's not just the viewers that are going to benefit from this tonight.
So I'm just looking down. I'm actually having a look at that live timing, and having a look at it, Alex Court is down 11 positions, but behind him, Callum Hodgkinson is up 10. So interesting to see, but Alex Court, I'm sure, is going to gain quite a few positions to get back up. I reckon he can get a top 10, maybe even a top 5 finish if he can nail that undercut.
Right, so Stefan's a couple of spots ahead of Alex, I think. Wasn't Stefan behind Alex a bit earlier there?
He was, but unfortunately, because of that little contact that Alex had with Dean, I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah, that's thrown him back. Who is the other big movers? So Callum Hodgkinson up 9. We've got is that Bradley Wall up 4. John Mchenry was up 5, but Stefan just got him, so he's only up 4
side
now.
Entering Guon. Wow, that's a move and a half from Stefan McCarthy, and that is some great racing there between him and John Mchenry. Those boys doing some absolutely lovely work. Those boys are actually on our broadcasting team, and they know how to race, and they're proving that right now.
That front end damage is hurting Stefan much at all there, so good pace.
It's that rear end damage, I believe, for Stefan.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of rear wing. You really have to stare at it to notice it. So it won't be doing much problems for him at all, or giving him any problems.
See it in the shot there, that little kick.
Yeah.
Wing.
And Hughes now doing very, very well up front.
There's another nice off track there for, was that John? I think that might have been John with an off track there.
I wonder, can can you see the incidents? I'm not sure we can.
It's going to be one of those things where, this track, it's so easy to get off tracks. So easy to do it. And a lot of them don't even cost you a slowdown either, so it's sort of like one of those things where you think you could run out there, or you could get away with it, but this is one of those places that, iRacing's pretty hard on the off tracks.
Yeah, Spa is, I think, one of the worst, or I say worst, but I don't really mean it as the worst, but people seem to complain a lot about Spa. They did that rework with the 4-tyre system. I'll just have a look. So in the rules of the track, there's a 4-tyre system. So there's a little boundary on the edge of the curbs and stuff. So if you put all 4 tyres over that line, you will end up getting an off track. So iRacing are doing their best to make it fair and change the track for the better, but there's only so much you can do, and I think that was a very good change that they made. Is watching nice little battle here between Dean, Callan and Greg. Team Greg racing up in front, and I'm going to say it again, Team Greg up in front in a P14. Bit of a lock-up there.
You only said it once though, buddy. It's
Team Greg, Team Greg, Team Greg, Team Greg. Is that enough?
No, twice. It's just twice.
Sorry, Team Greg. Team Greg.
It's just that echo in the room that you've got to cover, buddy.
Okay.
So,
my apologies.
Deja vu. But the boys are racing good here. Callum having a great race at the moment. Obviously didn't have a great qualifying run because he was back down the order, but really taking advantage of everything here into the top 15, up 9 positions. Having a great race.
Yeah, it'll be a nice little chunky bit of points for him, of course, with those double points. I'm going to bring them up now, actually, and have a look as what we will currently see for the moment. Just got to find them. Give me 2 seconds. We're almost there, almost there.
Good. All good, buddy. We get to look at that. We're looking at Dean's car. There was a little bit of a scrape up the side of Dean's car, but that was probably that incident that he had with Alex Court. But he's shown some good pace here, putting a bit of pressure on Callum. It looks like he's got the inside run going through that Blanchimont. It isn't it? I got one right. Woohoo! Even pronounced it right, I think. So we'll see what happens.
You did indeed. That's a nice little move by Dean Sinkovich up there on Callum Hodgkinson. He had a bit of a lock-up, I reckon.
I think Dean just put the car in the right spot there, and that made it a bit hard for Callum to carry the speed, through the chicane. So, but no, good driving from the boys. Bit more action, which is exactly what we want to see out there.
I believe that the endurance round points are... Sorry, I'm just trying to work this out. I think it's a chunky amount of points. Yeah, so 450 points for the person who does finish first, and those points go all the way down to P25. P25 is picking up 18 points, so my... calls on the points recently have not been up to date because these points go all the way down to P25, so that's on me and I do apologize for that. So the leading driver Adam Hughes at the moment will be taking 450 points on top of his 432 total, so be a hefty amount.
All about maximising your points in these cases, buddy. Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, look, the table's been pretty good. Well, how much have we got separating? 66 from first to second, and then we're talking 10 or 20 points separating each driver, sort of going right back down to the top 15 after that. So the battles are quite close, and the results in tonight's race will shuffle the leaderboard up, I'm sure. Though Adam Hughes 6 seconds out in front now, doing it easy.
Yeah,
Steven
he's just taking it
George...
easy.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was just going to say we were having a look at the other Team Greg in the green Team Greg car. And George Minnis, a George in a Team Greg, because he's taking over one of the other Georges that couldn't actually race.
It's a very nice
seasons.
Green.
It is. And it'll have that little...
car.
It'll have those little flecks in it like Greg has on his red one, I'm sure, too. So, but
it does indeed. It's a nice little pearlescent green. It's a very nice looking car. The gloss as well.
Yeah, that's the
As,
spec map looking nice
Benjamin
too.
Sirens made a move on Carter Dines up in front, as Carter Dines actually, has he made a mistake? Stefan McCartane's got in front of him as well. He has. He's had a spin, sorry. That's coming out of La Source, so you could just watch. He's maybe got a bit hungry on the power. He's on the outside. He's left the inside there. And, yeah, you can see that car just got a bit loose on the outside, and unfortunately he's just touched the wall there. That shouldn't give him too much damage, hopefully.
He's avoided major damage there, but unfortunately he's had to wait for half the field to go through. So that's really thrown him back down.
Yeah.
Brett Wheelman just saying he's got to be told he can't park there. Come on. There's no parking lines.
Yeah, down, unfortunately. He was sitting up there with Kyle Zink up in P6, so he's down another 6-7 positions. So all the boys in front will have benefited from that. They'll be hoping to grab those points. Alex Court being one of those. He's right up the back of Stefan McCartane now. Sorry, not right up the back, but he's now behind him, about 5 seconds off. So good to see Alex getting right back in it. Bradley Wall and John Mchenry, those two going hard out, having a nice little battle in for P10. So be good to watch. Keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, the battle between Crisscross Racing and Locked On Racing. So both of these boys part of our commentary and broadcast team here. So, but racing with their own race teams for this. We've only got the Sinkoviches out there in the SRW colours, but you know we've all got our teams that we race with and that. So, yeah, we've got to keep that going, I suppose, don't we?
Yeah, really have to keep some good vibes going as well. We're going to make sure that we're watching all those times, and Benjamin Sirens now right up the back of Kyle Zink, if we can get on board with them as they coming down, I think, in the bus stop. As you can see, yeah, coming down into the bus stop. Maybe a little bit of a lock-up from Benjamin Siren behind those two for 9.5 Sim Sport.
Tyson's doing well out in front, just keeping his nose clean at the moment. These boys working together to try and hunt him down. You were talking about that a few laps ago, buddy, and they were back about 3 or 4 seconds. So it's definitely working for both of those boys in the 9.5 Sim Sport car.
Yeah, they've made it work. They're now right up the back of Tyson McAvoy, as I was saying. That draft was so important, and Kyle Zink's right up the back of him. He's within that 3/10 gap, so he'll be well within the draft range and maybe going to have a look at him.
Yeah, he got a great run up the hill there.
Yeah, he had a really good run. Tyson's going to weave to the right, maybe hold that line. He is going to hold that line. Kyle's going to look at it round the outside. They're almost side by side. They're still going to be side by side, but he backs out at the last second. Could have probably held it around the outside, but could have maybe had a bit of contact as he goes up the inside now. Kyle Zink trying to make a move, but Tyson McAvoy positioning that car very well, and maybe he can be the new Sergio Perez.
Well, again, we did talk about the drivers having to change their thought patterns tonight for the long game, the endurance, a 70-minute race, double points. So it's all there for the taking.
Triple points.
Triple points. Wow.
I do believe. Having a look at the standings, it was one box was selected in ×3. So, yeah, 150 ×3. So they've doubled it from the sprint race. So, yeah, 150 points is usually what comes up for first, and it's 450 tonight. So, triple points on offer.
We got Callum Hodgkinson, Steven Sinkovic, Chris, and those two are in the pits. I'm not sure if Chris Thornton or Luke are in the pits or have just dropped a lap down.
We are about 25 minutes in. We're almost halfway now in this race, as that Chris Thornton car is actually very nice. He's going to leave it very, very wide and let Callum Hodgkinson... Sorry, who is that? That 32 car of...
was Callum.
No. Matthew Doust, was it? Oh, so Matthew Doust was lapping them. My apologies. So he's right up in the front there, and you can see just behind Robbie Griffiths in that Fishy Motorsports car, putting in a lovely drive to try and chase down Matthew Doust and maybe close that gap to Adam Hughes. Triple points. He's going to want to maximise them.
So did the Fishy boys get back to you about the blue car you were looking for, buddy? Have you seen it out on the track tonight?
I have not seen it out track, and I must say I am a little bit disappointed. They did say they could make it happen, and I've come out a bit disappointed tonight, but I'm sure they will definitely make a change.
Well, they've had a pretty big weekend, haven't they? You know, with the SRWT TV races. I think there was also a big 12-hour race on the weekend that the Fishy Boys were in, so maybe they didn't have enough time to accede to every whim of our race commentators here.
It's exactly right. As well, it's not the livery that makes the driver; it's the skill. So the livery is just a pretty thing.
It's only a good livery if we're talking about it, buddy. So but these Fishy Boys are
fish.
The spec map on the side of that really makes that
glossy chrome fish. Yeah, you can see it on the right rear. The right and left rear of that car, absolutely beautiful.
Well, I know that
coming through Puon.
I know they're a fairly big race team, the Fishy Boys, and they race in a lot of different categories. But I don't think anyone's sick of seeing that thing on the side of the car.
Nah, not at all. I'd actually be a little bit scared, if I'm honest, if I saw that on track next to me. It's a big, scary fish.
Looks great. Looks great.
As I wonder if we can actually go on board with Adam Hughes for a little bit, maybe get an onboard lap.
See how smooth
he comes now into bus stop. We're just going to get a little onboard lap. I'm going to pop out for a quick second. I'll be right back.
Turn your sound up, guys. Let's have a listen and watch these cars and have a listen to them more. Shout out to the Sinkovich brothers. Just tell them, see how good this camera shot looks when you don't have white around the names. No, I'm sure the boys will get it fixed. Just carrying, using all of the track there. Just carry as much speed as he can. His gap's now out to 10 seconds, so he's just doing a supreme drive. I think that was one of the SRW TV cars that he's just lapped. Was it? You changed cars on us, Brett. That's why. But that's all good, buddy. But Adam is just driving a supreme race at the moment. He's out in front. I suppose the only guys that might give him a bit of trouble are back markers at the moment, but he's got a 10-second gap back to Matthew Dowse. Looks like the battle between Tyson McAvoy and Stephen McCartney is heating up too. Those boys are less than half a second apart. So Matthew Dowse has been signed on with After Dark Sim Racing, we are told, so that's great news for those boys. They're definitely getting a fast driver there. And yes, again, Matthew has shown plenty of class so far in the races that we've seen him here on SRW TV. That was Aaron that's told us about that. Aaron, thanks very much for that info on YouTube. Yeah, boys, you've got any dirt on these drivers, the more juicier, the better. Put it up in the chat so that we can talk about it and maybe hang a bit of shit on them for you. If you want to do a personal call out, we can do that for you, buddy. Doesn't 100%. Even cost extra. Yeah, it doesn't cost extra.
Yeah, we don't charge for shit talking. We do it anyway. Adam Hughes coming down into La Source, and he's gonna put in a nice little lap here. He's done a best lap of 220.7, and we'll see his last lap was a 221, so 3/10 off, and he's halfway, just under halfway through the race. There's 30 minutes gone, and he's going to come across the line. And now he comes across the line, and that lap was as we get our standings to update, at 221.5. So a little bit slower, almost a second down on his last lap. So not last lap, his best lap. So interesting to see there is Tyson McAvoy now being chased down by Stefan McCartane and Benjamin Siren. Benjamin Siren, they crisscross, almost having a look up the inside. Bit of a lock up from Tyson McAvoy, maybe getting a bit scared by those boys behind. A little bit of a slip out from Stefan McCartane. They're going to have the draft, Benjamin Siren and Stefan McCartane down the straight. Tyson McAvoy going to have to position this car very well to make sure that these boys do not pass him.
What happened to Kyle there? Because Kyle's fallen back quite a few positions. I think he might have pitted, maybe.
Yeah, I think a lot of the boys jumped into the pits. I'll just have a look on our live timing. Kyle
We do
Zink.
have a DSL action replay here. Oh, he's...
Kyle Zink has indeed gone through the pits, if my standings are correct. We have been told that he has crashed as well.
Oh, there's a spin there. Yeah, he's just tried to get the car to sort of stay in and keep as much gas on it as he could there. And it's very easy to lose the rear in these cars. And once they start to rotate around, it's very hard to get the rear to settle. I think I've said before, when you drive the V8, you can sometimes use the stamp on the accelerator and it shifts all the weight back into the car to give you that grip. But these things being a mid-engine car, you can't do that. It doesn't work.
Yeah, the mid to rear engine Porsche 992 Cup car, the GT3 Cup 992, I believe is the full name of the Cup car.
Should call it the mouthful, I think.
Yeah, P Cup. Yeah, I think. Stefan McCartney has made the move, as we've been told, as we're going to see the replay now as they come down the Camel Straight. You can see Stefan pulling to the outside, Tyson pulling to the inside. He's going to want to try and hold that position. You can see they're side by side, almost touching wheels, and Stefan going around the outside at Lake Coombe, then back on the inside, and that move was pretty done and dusted. He's positioned that car very well there, Stefan. I reckon Tyson would have been better holding that outside line, and that's a very, very classy move from Stefan McCartney, as Tyson McAvoy almost having another look at him down into Bruxelles there.
I think we're seeing the draft being a bit of a factor here at Spa.
Big time.
Those two long straights, so the draft's definitely giving you a bit of an advantage.
He has had a bit of a spin. You can see the smoke in the background there. Unfortunately, he did have a bit of a spin. This is going to be coming into the bus stop chicane, and maybe a bit of a lock-up, maybe trying not to hit the cars in front. He's got that Team Greg car on the inside. Oh, a bit of contact, unfortunately, from Greg Leake there.
I think Tyson would have known he was there, so I don't know.
100%. I reckon that's maybe just a possible mistake, but as racing sometimes, you get a bit caught up with the back markers, and
with these
he'll
cars,
get his head down and get back into it.
You've only got to get tapped in the wrong spot, and it just unsettles them. So a bit unfortunate there for Tyson, but he's still got a chance to chase back and take that top 5 position back again.
Yeah, exactly right. So just coming up 30 seconds from the halfway point in this race. Adam Hughes has since pit. We've missed that one. He's spent about 38 seconds in the pit stop. Minute 4 seconds seems to be around the rough pit lane time is the time that they lose. So about half a lap or so, just under half a lap. He's currently sitting in P8. Matthew Doust obviously out in the lead. I wonder, we did see on Tuesdays the F3, if you could run that car a little bit longer, you could actually gain a bit of more of an advantage because of how long the pit lane is and how long the track is as well. So we'll see if Robbie Griffiths and Matthew Doust make this long stint work, as Robbie Griffiths is now pushing to catch up to Matthew Doust. These cars will be running on a lot less fuel than they started with, so gonna be keeping an eye on these boys.
A decent split between the times of the guys here. So the front runners are doing 2:21s and 2:22s. Sort of mid-pack, we're talking the 2:23, 2:24s. So, I mean, we've got lots of great talent here at SRW TV for all of our drivers. We love them. But one of the great things about it is we've got varying skill levels as well in the sim, and it can make for some exciting racing.
Yeah, there we go. Robbie Griffiths maybe looking to get a undercut on Matthew Doust there, as he's in the pits before him. And you can see David Coleman passing him, and that's going to be the number 51 of Stefan McCartney passing him as well. You can see a couple of these boys actually filing into the pits. That 27 of Luke Cornwell behind one of the lapped cars passing him as well, as we see Tyson McAvoy on the right-hand side passing him. Robbie Griffiths now probably changing all those tyres, I reckon. He's been pushing quite hard to stay up with those boys. I'll get the timing up and see how it is. As 30 seconds now just passed for that pit stop, as Adam Hughes gets past him on pure pace, absolute pure pace, and Robbie Griffiths has still taken, I reckon he has definitely taken all tyres there. A 45-second stop. So he's now out, and that's a 1 minute pit stop time. So maybe something's happened to Adam Hughes because he's lost 4 seconds more than Robbie Griffiths. So that pit stop might be a blessing for Robbie Griffiths. May be able to get past Matthew Doust if he pits this lap.
Look, I very much think that, there'll be... I don't know if there'll be many different strategies out here tonight because, trying to do a 70-minute race and only changing a couple of tyres could be a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I think Robbie Griffiths has probably played it safe. Maybe gone for those 4 tyres as he makes a nice move into Bruxelles on Dylan Budzeni there. That's a really nice move up the inside on fresh tyres. I reckon he's definitely taken all 4. So I reckon he's going to want the late game pace. So if Matthew Doust comes into the pits and he takes tyres, and he has come actually into P3. No, my apologies. The timing's gotten it wrong.
I think Matthew's just going to be... Well, I think he's just going to be hoping that he doesn't have any wheel glitches like he had in the last round. He has advised me that he's investing in some new sim gear to hopefully alleviate that. But yeah, that was a bit unfortunate for him last week.
Yeah, he was having a really, really good run down at Silverstone, across the pond, I suppose, if you want to call it like that. And unfortunately, had that wheel disconnect and put him into a wall, and that was his race over.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I suppose with all of these corner names being French and I suppose that's the Belgian people, isn't it?
Are French, yeah.
Well, I've got a couple of friends of mine. A friend of mine married a Belgian girl, and so very much French and English, both sort of joint languages that they speak over there. So you sort of need to be able to speak both. And I think my mate, the first thing he learned to do is, a few choice swear words in French. As they say in is it the Merovingian in The Matrix says, it sounds like, you're wiping your butt with silk when you swear in French.
Well, I do know one French swear, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but I don't think you should. I think it's probably right given some of the stuff was said tonight, but I'll hold off for the moment, just out of safety, I suppose.
We just got
David Coleman and Stefan McCartney, and those boys are getting very far away. You can see those boys are actually red on the timing on the standings there, showing that they have actually lapped Ash Davis. Those boys are so far ahead in front, and that will probably change once we get back down. I think Stefan McCartney's come into the pits. No, he hasn't. My apologies. So we got Matthew Doust, Stefan McCartney, and Tyson McAvoy. The top 3 all have not pit yet, and neither has David Coleman down in P5. So this could be very, very interesting now. It really could heat up as these boys are pushing hard.
Well, Matthew and David are still running in the low 222s, so it's not as if their pace is compromised or anything. The tyres are 40 minutes old, so I must admit I'm not too aware of how bad the tyre degradation is in these cars, having not really driven them much more than a few trial runs. And look, Doust has finally come in.
Doust into the pits, so he's going to be watching on the timing screen. David Coleman, is he going to come into the pits as well? Now, obviously, with it being a sim racing game, a sim racing simulation, my apologies, there's no hindering of cars in the pit lane, so there's nothing that can hinder these guys. They get in, they do their pit stop, they get out. So David Coleman coming out into the lead, and Stefan McCartney is now passing Matthew Doust. I'm going to be watching this timing very closely. Robbie Griffiths and Adam Hughes have got about a 20-second gap between them. So Tyson McAvoy now going past Matthew Doust in the pit lane, and he's going to be stationary still. He's about 25 seconds, he's about halfway through that stop. Is he going to be able to get out in front? Not of Adam Hughes, but it's going to be Robbie Griffiths. He gets rolling again. It's a 31-second stop. He gets out of the pit lane. It's a 57-second total stop. Robbie Griffiths is not going to be able to pass him. He's coming down only into La Source now. So will those 4 tyres benefit him in the long run is really the question. I reckon Matthew Doust is only taking 2. It's about a 15-second gap between those guys, actually pit stop time. So the time that they actually spent in their pit box is about 15 seconds difference. So Robbie took a lot longer to have his pit stop. So I reckon that is down to the tyres.
I would think so. Look, there is some variation with your pit stop time depending on how you stop in the pit bay. So if you're too far forward or too far back, that can cost you half a second or so either way. But we're not talking 15 seconds here. I think you're right. That has to be extra tyres.
Yeah, I reckon he's wanting to get that extra pace out of the tyres. It'll be interesting because we don't get to see which ones they actually change. It'll be very, very interesting to see which tyres Adam Hughes and Matthew Doust actually change. So we've still got those top three boys again. David Coleman, Stefan McCartane and Tyson McAvoy all have not pit yet. But with a minute from the leader to Robbie Griffiths, we have said it before, about a minute lap time, a minute total pit lane time. So Alex Court might actually be able to get in front of David Coleman here, so he might actually be able to gain a position, because I believe he has gone into the pits, but I cannot confirm that, as it does say that it was a 3-second pit stop, so I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate. Sorry, 3-second pit lane time is 16-second stop, so it doesn't really make much sense.
Well, I was going to say the Red Bull boys in Formula 1, they're doing 2-second pit stops, but I don't know if iRacing pit stops are that quick, especially in these cars.
I'm pretty sure they actually nerfed the pit stops. Didn't they make a new rule so that they had to account for the human reaction time and stuff, so they couldn't get their 1.7, 1.8 pit stop.
No electronic
times.
aids, so they're not allowed to, see. I think it was electronic aids or lights to know when to sort of put it on. When they can take the wheel off, it has to be all reaction of the pit crew itself.
Yeah.
Said that was a safety issue, I think, but it might have been a bit of games played between the teams trying to nerf Red Bull's advantage there. But yeah, let's get back to the racing here tonight. We're not here to talk about the Formula 1, even though it is spicing up. I think, didn't Lewis Hamilton this week come out and say that he will be driving in the next season?
I think we all knew that he was going to be driving. He just made a bit of a comeback on social media. He was sort of absent for a little bit, and he came back, and everyone sort of said that he was sort of like the Undertaker rising from the dead, and he went a bit absent from social media. Took a little bit of a break, I think, to rewind after the Abu Dhabi's spicy finish, I'm going to say.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, looks like Robbie's sort of found some pace with these new tyres. He's up into the 21s too, so the pace is definitely starting to heat up at the front here.
Yeah,
but
really
you look
starting
at
to
this,
heat up.
Well, Stefan McCartane is still doing 21s, and we don't think Stefan's pitted yet. So, I mean, again,
Tyson has pit. So Tyson's gone in, and Stefan hasn't, and neither has David Coleman. So, as I said before, that minute pit stop, Tyson was able to get a 30-second stop and a 55-second stop in the pit. So he's only come out in P8. So he's not come off too bad there.
That was his starting position, so he's back to where he was at the start of the grid. I know he's up one spot at the moment.
Yeah, up 2 according to the timings, but I'm not sure if that's entirely correct. It looks like it's having a bit of a spaz around. As it's at him now in P8. So yeah, up 1 spot. Alex Court down 5 in P7. I'll run you through the top 10. David Coleman still hasn't pit, and Stefan McCartane, those 2 boys up the front, going very, very long. As actually,
like
we're going to see Stefan McCartane come into the pits now. He might be caught by Alex Court, and maybe even Benjamin Siren if he doesn't get this pit stop absolutely perfect. So let's go and watch how many people pass him. So Adam Hughes obviously will pass him. He's definitely within the gap. Matthew Doust as well. Robbie Griffiths possibly, but we shall have a look. So that's Stefan McCartane there being passed by one of the back markers, I believe, as now Adam Hughes there passing him.
Yeah, Stefan made some good ground when he got some open air there. Just unfortunately, his little get-together there at the start with Alex, but both of those boys have recovered now and, battling for the top 5.
Yeah, exactly right. Matthew Doust passing him as well, so he's just coming up to 30 seconds. If he's going to take 2 tyres, this is it. And he's a 31-second stop, and he's out the pit lane at 56 seconds. Robbie Griffiths just gets past. Alex Court is just behind, trailing. This is going to be a very, very close. He's not going to have the speed coming up the hill. Stefan McCartane comes out onto the pit road. It's Alex Court and Stefan McCartane. This is very, very close. Alex is going to have the overspeed. He gets the pass on Stefan McCartane. What an undercut he has done, and these boys are going to be battling right to the end. And we've got about 25 minutes left to go.
I don't think Stefan was thinking about getting undercut. Oh, who's that?
That's unfortunate.
Was that Matthew Dowse?
I do not believe that was Matthew Doust. I believe that was one of the Sinkovic boys. I believe that is Steven Sinkovic, and Alex Court done very well to avoid that, and so is Stefan McCartane.
I don't know if Stephen was trying to get out of the way of the boys there. It just went a little bit hot.
Yeah, it just came in a bit hot into Lake Coombe. Went over the grass, and he's recovered that well. Actually, he's got it nice back on track quite nicely. So these boys can race cleanly.
Stefan trying to get up on the back of Alex here. Again, it's probably going to take a lap for the tyres to sort of settle in again. So we don't know if he went with all four or not, but
I don't believe he has. He's only done a 31-second stop, so maybe a little bit more fuel, maybe only those two tyres. I believe it's a 45-second stop is the one with the all fours. So
I think
Alex Court, I'm not sure if he has actually pitted, because that 16-second stop seems very incorrect. I'm going to have a look if we can actually I believe we can get it on our standings. We can see who has come into the pits. If we can get that up from our lovely producer, Brett. There it is. So yeah, all one stops at the moment. So Alex Court has gone into the pits. He has got the undercut. Just not sure on if he has taken all fours or only two.
Well, I'd say all the guys that have done those two stops are the guys that maybe had a little bit of damage, have had to come in and take advantage of the fast repair, and may have just been outside the pit stop windows, so they've had to do the second stop again.
Yeah, we can see on the back of Stefan McCartane, that rear wing is actually repaired as well, so using that, maybe that little half a tenth, that second was used using that fast repairs. David Coleman is coming out the pits now. He's had a 56-second pit lane time. What is that noise? It's a car doing something. A very high-pitched squeal. I'm not sure what it was, but David Coleman's done very well. He's come out in third, so he's done extremely well to keep that car up in the podium positions. He's done an overcut, I believe. Oh, there is a safety car.
Safety car, so there's a big incident out that's happened there. I don't think weren't going to have any compulsory safety cars there, so we might see if Wheelman can have a bit of a look and see what might have caused that.
Yeah, no random safety car, so this is a safety car that has happened naturally, I suppose. There has been a bit of an incident. I'm not sure what has happened, so I believe that is why David Coleman's pit at the perfect time. That safety car will have been called. Was called. I can't see the times, unfortunately. It was called probably about just after he's gone into the pits there. So. Fortunately, I can't hear what the boys are saying.
I'm the same as well, buddy. At the moment, I'm having some issues getting into iRacing, so Brett Wheelman is giving us a great feed here that I'm able to commentate off. Normally,
here we go. I've got it now. I'm just going to have a listen. If you want to go for a little chat.
No worries, buddy. Yeah, so, well, it's just going to certainly bring the cat amongst the pigeons. I don't know if Adam Hughes was too happy about a safety car coming out. He had a nice gap. Though I think Matthew managed to take about 3 or 4 seconds out of his gap after the pit stops. So, Matthew definitely took advantage of that clear air that he had there for a while. It's possible that Adam got caught up with a bit of traffic, trying to have to pass some of the back markers when he came out, because he was one of the first to do his pit stop.
You know who this safety car, you know who is going to benefit this from is Robbie Griffiths. He's taken all 4 tyres, and now the safety car has been brought out, and he's in P4, and he's on fresh rubber. So I've been told that Luke Cornwell binned it at Radion, stuck it in the wall on the inside, and that was that noise that you could hear in the wall just as David Coleman was coming out of the pit lane. So that's
We're gonna
what's
have a look at
happened.
Yeah, we're gonna have a look at a DS action replay to see what happened to him. Oh, he's just gone a bit hot there.
Oh yeah,
and the
almost caught
car.
it, and yeah, just yeah. Sometimes you hit the wall so hard that it just becomes like rubber, and that is an easy safety car call.
Yeah, sticky wall syndrome in iRacing. Looks can't park there, Brett's saying. Yeah, there's no parking lines out here. So, but yeah, so that has definitely mixed things up for the boys and bunched it all back together. So it is going to be quite interesting
It's
to
going to be
see
a nice
those.
little 20-minute sprint, actually, because we're 52 minutes in, and this safety car might be coming in probably about a lap or two. And by the time the safety car's coming in, Sorry, I'm just listening to the race control. We've got safety car will be out for one more lap, and pit lane is also open. So, wonder if a couple of those boys from the back might take advantage of that. And
well, I know I did see that the Promo Department safety car did give the guys that were a lap down a wave around, so they'll be able to get back on the back and battle. This extra lap will probably give them just enough time to maybe make it onto the back of the field.
Exactly, yeah. Good that those boys are onto it. The race control doing God's work out there, making those tough calls and making sure that we don't have to. As we see Adam Hughes making a little fake into the pit lane and trying to psych some of the other boys out. But I reckon someone's two drivers to watch is going to be Alex Court and Stefan McCartney, and it's going to be a restart of sorts. And we're going to have to watch those two into Lake Hume, as they might have another coming together.
Look, I think, as you said before, there's going to be some guys that took 4 tyres, others that took 2. So that might be a big advantage for the guys that are on completely fresh rubber.
I can run you through who's possibly taken 4. So Adam Hughes, actually, his pit time was 38 seconds. So he may have actually taken 3 or 4. Following him is Matthew Doust and David Coleman. They're both around 30-second stops, so they're going to be 2 tyres. Robbie Griffiths, sitting in P4, has done a 45-second stop and a minute total pit lane time. So that's probably all 4 tyres. I'm pretty safe and pretty confident saying that is all 4 tyres. And I can't say how long Alex Court's was, but Stefan McCartney's was also a 31-second stop, and following him 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 31, 48, 44. So behind him, John Mchenry and Bradley Wall both doing full tyre sets. So they're going to be battling for that P10 behind. So that'll be a fun little battle to watch.
Yeah, John Mchenry up 5 positions at the moment into the top 10. So that's been a great recovery by one of our producers here at SRW. Having a good race.
Yeah, Carter Dines, bit out of sorts, down 5 positions, down in P12. A bit unfortunate he had that little spin coming together with somebody, didn't he?
Yeah, unfortunate, but I mean, these things happen in racing, I suppose. But we do. I suppose when you're back in the field, you don't mind seeing the safety car just to bunch everything back up again and give you another chance. I'm sure Adam, although he wouldn't be too impressed with the fact that the safety car came out, he is up at front, so he will have control of the field when we go green again.
Yeah, 55, I was going to say seconds, 55 minutes have just gone by, so we've got 15 minutes left in this race for total race time. So just seeing on the back on that gearbox view is what it's called, I believe. The rear bumper of the car is a beautiful view. We see Matthew Doust probably wanting to not get too close to put Adam off. Almost
it's going in. So
4-minute 40 lap time is what they were doing around with that McLaren Promo Department safety car.
And if you have a look, in 23rd is actually Peter Baxter down 20 laps, and that is actually the driver of the safety car, one of the guys with race control. So I think we're watching the safety car go. We'll be going into the pits this lap. That's a clean looking interior, isn't it?
What's it, a 570, isn't it?
So
yeah, you can hear him running it through the gears. The GT4 car, doubling as our safety car tonight. It will be pulling into the pits. I reckon we can get it on board with Adam Hughes or Matthew Doust or one of those boys behind. Actually, I want to go on board with Robbie Griffiths, actually. No. Let's
Gonna make your mind up, buddy.
You pick.
About to go
You
green.
pick. I'm too indecisive.
Let's have a look at Robbie. Robbie's would give us a great run. We're with David Coleman here. Oh, he's checking everyone up, Adam. There's a bit of gamesmanship going on here. He's checked them all up before the line.
Who's going? When's he going? When's he going? He's sitting in first gear. He's going to shift second. When's he going to go? When's he going to go? He's going to wait very, very late. He's going now.
He's only just
and they're right onto it. Robbie Griffiths from behind. He's going to be wanting to keep in that draft. Maybe caught a little bit off guard. Alex caught behind as well. 2/10 behind. Stefan McCartane following him, and Tyson McAvoy in tow behind. There's about a 5/10 gap between those two.
Alex caught trying to go around the outside of Robbie as well. And who's that right in his wake?
That is Stefan McCartane. These boys trying to get a good run. Robbie Griffiths is right up the inside.
Oh,
no. A little bit of contact. Alex Court maybe trying to squeeze him a bit much. He's going to be livid about that one. Dropping all the way down the field. Robbie Griffiths really couldn't go anywhere. He was right on the inside. And that is very, very unfortunate for those two drivers, as I believe one of them slowed down in front. There may have been an additional incident. Robbie Griffiths has got away. Stefan McCartane's benefit from that, and he's up into P4s. We're going to get an action replay now. You can see they were almost 3 wide. Robbie braked quite late, and you can just see a little bit of net code.
I think Alex thought he had this. He was a full car in front, could turn in there, and looked like Robbie still had his nose sort of partly up there. So I don't know if that'll be anything more than a racing incident.
Yeah, there was a little incident in front as we're seeing David Coleman now going for the move on Matthew Doust. He has the inside line coming through the end of the corner. And he does have the move. Oh, they've made contact! There's big contact. Stefan McCartane's involved as well. Robbie Griffiths goes up into P2. Benjamin Siren as well is involved. That is probably going to be another safety car. That is an incredible incident and a very unfortunate one, as we're just going to have a look down the order. We're going to have a look at that on an action replay. David Coleman and Matthew Douse getting very close. They were side by side, and you can just see, unfortunately, the car just stuck and bouncing off the wall. Stefan McCartane, unfortunately, getting involved there.
Oh.
And Tyson McAvoy as well. And, there was a crisscross contact just in front. Wow.
That's unfortunate. I think, again, the boys were running close together, and a bit of door banging, and again, it's unsettled the car in the wrong way, and we can see, how easy it is for, these race cars to get, unsettled just by the slightest of taps or door banging.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're actually going to bring out the safety car. I do believe that is because there's only 10 minutes left in this race, so a safety car really would bring it as a safety car finish. And I think those incidents have been cleared up. So
yeah, I think all of them got running, buddy. So you're right,
as it stands, we currently have. Sorry, we keep doing this. Adam Hughes has come away 4 seconds in front. Robbie Griffiths benefits out of that one and jumps up into P2. Benjamin Siren as well benefiting. Kyle Zink and Carter Dines, all the boys in the top 10. Alex Court benefiting as well.
Well, Alex has got away with that because he had a spin, and then he's back to the back, and then the chaos in front of him has got him back up into the P10. So probably count his lucky stars.
Robbie Griffiths has got a drive-through penalty for the incident with Alex Court. So he's just been black flagged, and he will have a drive-through penalty. That is very unfortunate. He's going to drop down. It's probably going to be around a 30-second pit, so that's going to drop him down, unfortunately, into P6, I reckon. P16, not P6, unfortunately. That's very unfortunate for Robbie Griffiths. He's having such a good race, and just unfortunately came into contact, and race control have deemed that to be a drive-through penalty.
I don't think Alex could have done anything about it or more than he wanted. So yeah, Robbie maybe just sticking his nose up a little bit too far there.
Yeah, maybe could have just been a bit patient, but that was a big chaos as we just witnessed, and Bradley Wall's got quite a bit of damage. He's come off of that worse off, and Callum Hodgkinson, the guy who had damage at the start, is looking squeaky clean, actually.
18 positions up he is in this race, which is absolutely amazing.
That is incredible. What a drive he is putting on today. He's just about a second behind Carter Dines in front, his teammate for the Crisscross Racing As we're coming into the last 10 minutes now of this race. Adam Hughes pulling away 5 seconds as Robbie Griffiths in front is going to come into the pits. It's very unfortunate that he does have to come through the pits. He's had such a good race. And we'll see where he drops back to and if he can gain those positions back. Benjamin Siren going to jump into P2 and Kyle Zink into P3 into those podium positions.
Look, it's been action-packed, buddy. I mean, you wouldn't have thought that this is an enduro round the way these guys have been racing and battling. We always thought that a safety car late in the race might, spice things up, and that's what it's effectively done. It's turned the last sort of 20 minutes into this race to another sprint.
Yeah, exactly right. That safety car spicing things up 100%. So those boys, and we can see now how far Robbie Griffiths did drop back, about P13. So I was a little bit off, but he's right in the thick of it. So he's still able, I reckon, to get a P11 here if he's smart and he plays his cards right. There's probably about 2 or 3 laps left. So
Ash Davis up into the top 10. He's running in 9th at the moment. We haven't had a lot of talk or looking at Ash tonight. He's been sort of flying under the radar and has, again, taken advantage of a bit of the carnage up ahead to get himself back into the top 10. Great work.
Yeah, we're watching now Alex Court. Is he going to make the same move that he did before? You know, he's going to sit behind this time, just in front of Dean Sinkovic. Of course, last time those two were battling, he made a move around the outside and unfortunately came worse off. So he's maybe driving a little bit smart. He pulls out to the outside. He leaves no room for him at all and a big lockup. Dean left him absolutely no space. That's actually quite smart driving from Dean. Made contact behind. He spun Ash Davis. Wow, it is really heating up. And Dean is spun as well. This is absolute chaos here in the DSL Welding GT3 Porsche Cup.
Hopefully Brett Wheelman will look into that and show us what's happened there.
About 3 replays in that one, to be honest. So I think we're going to have a look. Yeah, the lockup there and then we'll watch Ash Davis and the redress from Alex Court. He just unfortunately got a bit wide and there's nothing really either of those drivers could do. He touched the wall very lightly there, Ash Davis, so he's able to get back on track nice and easy.
I think Alex could be in trouble. Alex could be in trouble for that rejoin there. He's come back on in pace and managed to tag Alex there, so we'll have to keep an eye on. Dean's done it all himself.
Yeah, Dean may be watching that in his rearview mirror, maybe got on the bit power hungry maybe, and he's having a little bit of trouble trying to get that car turned around.
But following instructions of race control to hold the brakes when there's no one there. Again, it's really important to keep looking at your relative when something like that happens.
Exactly.
Be aware that when you got cars around you, just stay still, let them pick the line.
Yeah, sometimes when you spin, unfortunately, most of the time you really just aren't able to hold that position. So you do just have to wait to rejoin, and sometimes there is a little bit of a gap where you can take it, and if you take it, you come off well off, and you'd lose a lot less positions than you would. But sometimes you just play it safe, and sometimes.
I think race control's been pretty clear on their instructions to the drivers. You know, if you're involved in an incident, hold the brakes. They will keep penalising guys for not doing it. So hopefully we can not stamp it out, because we want these guys to race hard and that, but we don't want. Ideally, you don't want innocent parties to get caught up in other people's messes. So it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
It's racing.
Right.
It's racing.
Exactly
it happens.
Right.
But
yeah.
But still, But look, it's been such an action-packed race tonight.
Coming into the last 5 minutes of it.
Yeah. Kyle Zink having a great run. Kyle's up 5 positions. Benjamin Siren in second, up 8 positions, buddy. Callum Hodgson's up 19 now. He's made another move.
Yeah, Callum Hodgkinson is going to want to try and get up into P4, maybe even P3. Can he get that elusive 20 positions? He would have started P25 right at the back of the grid. Carter Dines is now going to be battling. He's about a second away from Kyle Zink. That draft is going to be helping him along as they come in through Blanchimont and they come through into the bus stop chicane. They're going to be a little bit of draft for Carter Dines from Kyle Zink. And that'll be all important. Once those two start battling, Callan's going to be able to catch up. And that's going to be all important for Benjamin Siren as well to pull away from Kyle Zink. And this is going to be the battle to watch, I think, in this last 4 minutes of this race.
Well, the one thing we haven't talked about, again, very much, because he's so far out in front, is Adam Hughes. But looking at the timings here, if you start to have a look at the season standings, Adam's going to have a massive benefit here because it looks like his close rivals have all sort of fallen by the wayside. And this is, as you said before, is a triple point race. So this could really give Adam a massive buffer for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I don't think it'll make or break the championship, but it'll definitely give him a huge buffer if there are any races that he does have to miss. He'll probably be able to maybe skip one race if it's not an endurance race. Of course, he might be able to skip a super sprint or a normal sprint race. But
I don't think he's going to skip anything in these cars, mate. He loves driving them, and you can just see by his pace. He's got full control over the car. A lot of these guys. I don't know if the Porsche should be their preferred weapon of choice, but it's great to see them here and really giving these things a red hot go. I know I had to try driving them myself, and they're not an easy car to drive. So, I mean, you've got to want to drive them, and it's great to see that we've got such a big field.
I think we need to do a broadcasting race, a broadcasting team race where we get actually some of the racing boys to actually commentate for us. And Brett's actually chiming in. He wants to do some dirt because he loves the dirt racing. And no, Brett, I'm going to say maybe we'll have a little tournament. We'll have a little tournament between us. We'll do some all different disciplines. Pro disabled world championship racer, he says, on dirt.
Well, I did suggest to the boys for our Saturday night mayhem, which is open to everyone, so jump on board if you want to join us for Saturday night. But I did suggest to the boys they need to try Skip Barbers on a rallycross track because they are.
Oh my god! But yeah, but if you go over the jump for a rallycross track, won't you just die? Won't the car just fall into a million pieces?
Trying to turn the skippies on dirt is where the action really is. But anyway, we can't talk about that. We've got to get back here. We've got a close battle between Benjamin Siren and I thought Kyle was bringing up. No, that's Carter Dines.
Is Carter Dines. And I think Callum Hodgkinson behind has actually had a little bit of a mistake because Alex Court is right on his tail. So they're battling behind as well. Carter Dines now. Is he going to be able to make a move? I believe this is the last lap. I'm not too sure.
We are inside the last minute, almost the last minute of the race, so. But I think
we're seeing Carter Dines going up the inside. Kyle Zink is probably on the better line here on the outside. They're braking both very late into the corner. Big lockup from Kyle Zink. Unfortunately, he won't be able to defend that position because of that. And that's a very good move from Carter Dines to get up into the podium position on the final lap of the race, or second last lap of the race.
Yeah, he was in a bit of the wars last week, Carter. I think he fell afoul of race control at some point, but it's great to see him back up the front. Really benefiting from the carnage we had there after the safety car. But you've got to be, put the car in the right position to take advantage of it. And we're just looking at our leader here, Adam Hughes. It's just making this look easy. 15-second gap back to Benjamin. It's a supreme drive once again. He definitely has these cars fully under his control and knows how to get the most out of them.
Yeah, he's almost a pro at, I'm just going to say, he is a pro at driving on that limit and really pushing all of that he can out of that car and pulling all of the pace that he can. And it just shows that week in, week out, that gap is...
Well, last lap he was only 4/10 off his best lap for the race. So,
and I believe this is actually the last lap. The timer has finished, so that would have put us at the last lap for this lap. So we're just going to watch as Adam Hughes is going to come down into La Source for the final time of this endurance race. 70 minutes of hard racing action, and he will come out as the victor, I do believe. And that's been a very strong drive from him. He's shown in, week in, week out. And he has done it once again. The checkered flag from Barney the Flagman has been waved, and Adam Hughes will take the checkered flag. Carter Dines now has been under attack from Kyle Zink. Kyle Zink, is he going to be able to maybe get a better exit out of the corner? He does take the off track. This is going to be a photo finish, a drag race to the line. Carter Dines looks to have it under lock, and he does. A podium for Carter Dines. Kyle Zink as well.
Both of
Alex
them ran the
Court.
off track there. Both of them ran the off track to take advantage of that. They weren't, probably obviously saved enough X's to be able to do that.
Robbie Griffiths only finishing P8. He's done very, very well. Alex Court made the move on that last lap on Callum Hodgkinson to take home at P5. And that is a very long race, but it was a good race. It was action-packed. There was action. There was drama. There's drama at the end, as there seems to always be with these endurance races.
Yeah, plenty for the boys to talk about in the chat tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, what did you think of that one, Cowie?
I thought it was a great race. I mean, the safety car definitely mixed it up at the end. The boys were racing hard. We've had a couple of calls made by race control, and that's what happens when you bunch the cars back up. I suppose the chance for more incidents always happens when the cars are closer together. As commentators, I don't know if we like to see lots of incidents.
There's a spin behind. That's David Coleman. Sorry to interrupt you there, Cowie. Just David
That's
Coleman,
all right, buddy.
The last driver to cross the line. He's just having a bit of trouble there. I think he's maybe doing this on purpose. No, I take that back. He will get across the line. Maybe just had a bit of wheel spin. These cars are quite hard to get underway, and he's going to finish that one in the pit lane. Unfortunate, I believe he did get a...
I think he might have run out of incident points there and had to pit on the very last part of the race, so he didn't get disqualified.
I believe he got a black flag.
Yeah.
Insufficient racing room is what race control called it as, so there was a bit of an incident. But yeah, Adam Hughes taking out the race win from Benjamin Siren and Carter Dines. Those two, of course, showing we saw in round one, those two can drive, and they have shown that they can take P2 and P3 and drive nice and cleanly.
Oh, action-packed, buddy. Again, a pleasure to call the race with you, buddy. I'm going to have to head off and leave you to handle the driver interviews. But
all good. It was a pleasure having you on tonight.
Oh, mate, these cars are so much fun to watch. Watching these guys trying to wrestle them around a track like Spa, great viewing.
Just before you leave, Cowie, do you want to take us through the race results?
All right, so race results. We have Adam Hughes once again out front, 15 seconds ahead with Crisscross Racing. Got Benjamin Siren. Benjamin with 9.5 Sim Sports. It's a great drive for him getting up into the second position. And Carter Dines with Crisscross Esports making his way into the podium position. That's a great effort. Kyle Zink was battling hard all race and actually, worked really well with his teammate there in 9.5. Alex Court has had a bit of an up and down race, but a great recovery to finish in 5th. Callum Hodgkinson, that was a awesome drive from Callum. Unlucky not to get into the top 5, but up 18 positions for the race. So that is a tremendous result. Bradley Wall, one of our co-owners of SRW with Crisscross Esports in 7th. Robbie Griffiths just unfortunately tagging, was that Alex? Yeah, I think it was Alex earlier in the race, and had to serve a drive-through penalty on that to bring him back to 8th. Ashley Knowles in 9th, and Stefan McCartane in 10th with Crisscross Motorsports.
Thank you for that one, Cowie, and I'll let you head off.
No worries, buddy. We'll see you next time. And all the viewers, keep watching. Give us a like, subscribe if you want to hear more of us, and hopefully more of me too. But otherwise, guys, you have a great night, and we'll see you on Sunday for the V8s around here, buddy. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I'll see you then, Cowie. So, that was a very interesting race. Cowie does head off. I'm just calling the drivers into the green room there. I'm actually going to bring them all in. I'm going to bring in Callum Hodgkinson first, because that man has absolutely put on a show tonight. He has gone up, Callum Hodgkinson, 18 positions. So I'm going to bring him into the broadcast room. Callum, are you with us, mate? Callum? Have you got a mic, mate? Callum? Oh, he's dropped out. It's a bit unfortunate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in... we'll get to him later. So I will bring in Carter Dines, Ben Siren, and Adam Hughes, our top 3. I'll bring in the podium boys. Boys, a long race tonight. Nice endurance race. How did you all find that? I'll start with Adam. Adam, you had a pretty easy race tonight, I'd say. Spiced it up a little bit at the safety car there. Were you worried at all?
Yeah, mate. I was a little bit worried. As it was called, only because like I had must be like a 15 or so second gap or lead or 20-second lead, whatever it was, and then we got called, and I thought, oh no. And I know Matty Doust and Alex had both sort of pitted and had fresher tyres than what I did, so I was like, oh, this could go bad or could go good, and then. But no, just sort of had the restart as late as I possibly could, and sort of caught the rest of the field napping, and built a nice little gap, probably 1 or 2 laps after the safety car, mate. So I was pretty wrapped with that.
Yeah, it seemed to be a bit of an interesting one. Did you? I got a question. Did you take 2 or 3 or 4 tires?
I just took 2. I just took the 2 front tires. That was it.
All right. Because I'm just looking at your pit stop time was in the box was 38 seconds compared to about the 30 seconds. Did you miss the pit box, or was it just you've laughed?
No, I had to take more fuel on. I had to take
right.
I had to take 66 litres on of fuel, so I was sort of under fuel at the start.
You pit earlier. That's right. So that does explain it. That's exactly right. So I was just looking at the timings. Robbie Griffiths was running very well, and he was just a 45-second stop or thereabouts. So I thought he would have taken 4 tires. I'm just looking at your stop, Ben. Yours was a 42-second pit stop time. Did you take 4 tires, or was it 2 as well?
No, only 2. It was probably my my pit entry was very laid back and no error wanted.
Well, as we come to you, how was that race for you? It was a bit of up and down. You sort of jumped up and down. You're up 8 positions, so a very, very good finish from you, starting down in P10.
Yep, thank you.
A lot of chaos at the end there, and a lot of chaos sort of in the opening laps. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was interesting. That the first part of the race was really cool. A little bit sketchy with the teammate there for a while, but yeah, it was good. To be honest, I probably don't really deserve this P2 because Adam's bananas at the back end there did really well. Everyone skidded out in front of me, and the worlds collide, and I would not believe I got through, but I did. So. That was good. It was a good race. It's always good fun.
Yeah, you had a couple of good battles there. I believe it was you had a battle with, I think it was your teammate Kyle Zink at some point, and you guys were working together. Was there a bit of team orders going on, or were you guys just saying work together, catch the boys in front?
Yeah, but it's fairly easy, really. Whoever got the run on the other, Dave sort of yielded that corner to them.
I think that's what I was saying. It was down Camelot.
Vice versa, yeah. It's where it still baffles me how close as teammates we are. Even Ash, we're mega close to one another, whatever we race. So it's you sort of get that really good camaraderie with the team, and in terms of, it makes it easy when you're talking to one another on Discord. It's you go up the inside, no, you go up the inside. So it's good fun. It's good fun as long as we don't have a shunt. It's good. It's always good.
Sweet. Now, Carter, you had a bit of a quiet one, but also at the same time a not quiet one at all. You made that move on Kyle. On the last lap there. Were you being patient there? Were you being a bit impatient maybe, or were you just waiting for that draft in the end and getting the move done?
I was trying to be a bit relaxed about it. I didn't want to bin it. I was happy with my my 4th, considering where I was. I mean, the race as a whole, I was doing okay at the start, just kind of hanging onto the train. Then I spun myself under pressure, then spun myself under pressure again. Then I think on that last safety car, I was down to 14th or something, and I managed to claw my way back through that stack really well.
That's crazy.
Capitalized crazy on that, and then I kind of just stuck behind Kyle. I was happy with 4th, but I saw an opportunity and I snagged 3rd as well. I noticed I was a little bit faster.
Yeah, well, nicely done. So that was a good race. Was there any moments that you boys sort of can pick out in your mind that you want to say thanks to the other drivers or anything like that, like good racing or anything?
Well, I was catching Cal a bit at one point, and same with Brad. Just kind of keeping it clean and tidy. But I mean, everyone did a good job. There wasn't too many stacks to try avoid. So
the start of the race was pretty impressive too. Everyone sort of stuck to a line, and kept it going through Eau Rouge at the start of the race.
Oh,
It was good.
unfortunately. Sorry, Ben, I'll just get you to repeat that one. There's a bit of a technical difficulty there.
I was just saying the start of the race through Eau Rouge, everyone sort of held their line and kept it and putted around. It was good.
That was
Good,
Tyson
as always.
McAvoy who made it too wide, and it was he did very well. He was up into the podiums for a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, everyone raced well.
Yeah. So I'll just start with Adam. Adam, who have you got to thank tonight?
Just thank obviously Team Boss Stefan again, all the sponsors, Smoke Studios, A Boards, Jennifer Russell Real Estate. Obviously all those guys are coming on board this year. Obviously good job to Carter for snagging a P3. Like he literally went through hell and back with the race, quite literally. So he did a ripper job to bring it back into third place and slowly catch Ben, but just didn't have enough time. And obviously, congrats to Ben for second place, and to yourself and Brett for the stream, and to Scotty for the race control, because I know he's absolutely flat out. So yeah.
And Cowie as well. He's popped out as well. Thank you as well to Cowie. He does very well week in and week out. Ben, anyone you want to thank, mate, for that lovely P2?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys that put the show on, it's always a very good show to be a part of. The podium lads, once again, well done. And of course the mega sponsors: Racecraft Simulations, RSW Graphics, Racing Ears, Custom Ear Protection, 80 3D printing services. Who's Ash? So hit him up if you need some bits 3D printed, and Cutting Edge Tracks. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers. You say that we put on the show, but it's really you boys out on track. I think you guys put on a show week in, week out, and show us some class racing, and it's really awesome to watch. And lastly, Carter, rounding out the podium with a P3, up 4 positions. And anyone you want to thank?
I'm going to thank all the Chris Quest boys again. It's a fairly supportive night. You guys obviously putting it on, all the sponsors that Adam's gone through, and I'm going to thank all my family that support me as well and watch it. That's nice.
Yeah, all good. Now, thank you, boys. Now, I am going to bring in a special guest, and I'm going to call him personally my driver of the day, Callum Hodgkinson, who has done incredibly tonight. He started in P25 and he's gone all the way up into P6, up 18 positions. Callum, talk us through it, mate.
Yeah, didn't get a qualifying time in, so I started from the back, but managed to hold it out and get through the field, avoid the crashes. So it was good.
It's a very, very humble response there. Were there any moments where you sort of had a little bit of doubt of what was going on, or you nearly got caught in any incidents or anything?
Well, yeah. Well, at the start, I actually clipped the wall off the start, and I had damage, so my wheel wasn't straight for the start. So I was just trying to get to my pit stop straight away, so as quick as I could. Sorry, and but once
that was about half an hour, was it? You raced with half an hour with bent steering.
Yeah, well, I straight off the start, I clipped the wall passing someone, so the car wasn't too bad, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely my driver of the day, at least. 100%. That is an incredible drive, especially to battle like you were battling with bent steering, with Alex, with Brad, with I think it was Kyle as well, Carter as well. Some incredible racing that you put on today. So congratulations, mate. Anyone you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, all thanks to Adam, Carter, the boys at Smoke Studio, Chris Ross, Smoke Studio for the sponsors, and yeah, thanks for the compliments for you guys with the broadcast. Had a good race.
Yeah, cheers. So I think that will actually wrap us up tonight for the SRW Porsche Cup, brought to you by DSL Welding. From all the team here at SRW TV Sim Racing World, don't forget to hit the like button and follow button on our social media pages. Follow on Facebook, like our streams on Facebook as well and on YouTube, and hit that subscribe button on YouTube as well, and hit the bell to be notified of all of our streams and when we go live next. So on behalf of all of us here at SRW TV, on behalf of me, Dano, Cowie, the Average Sim Racer, and Brett behind the scenes, it'll be me signing off for the night, and look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday for the Super 1 V8 Supercars here at Spa.